I live in the Middle West at the edge of a great wide plain, where the rolling hills turn green in summer and the rivers run with rain. My dad's dad and his dad too, they work the good green earth. But my grandfather's grandfather was a sailing man by birth. And it's a far, far cry from where I am to where I wanna be. So put me on a sailing ship and carry me out to sea.
This is Mark Haines. This is that famed songwriter that you all are familiar with as Mr. Gray and Train Track Penny and all those good songs, Carry Me Out to Sea. And he, he's a high school classmate of mine, but he also spent a lot of time out here in his youth and through his adulthood. Did I even mention where we're at? We're at Echo Valley. Is it still a state park?
It is.
Okay, state park here in West Union, outside of West Union.
The county has maintained it for years, but
okay.
Many years.
So he's gonna show us some of the paths that we've missed so far on some of these videos. So let's get going and see.
Over there.
Oh, okay.
This is fairly recent. I don't know. I don't come out here as often anymore. But
I don't think I've ever been on this side.
Last spring was the first time, and I actually drove down the steep grade here and parked down there, and I was going to go out in that pasture, and that's all grown up now. There's no cattle in there, so they do mow swaths so you can walk. But there was one cut up the hillside, so I followed up the hillside, and it came out here.
Well, I'll let you lead the way, Mark. And
yeah, this walk is all just to take one view. There's one view that I really like.
All right.
Here's a stump.
So this is relatively new then?
Well, to me, I don't go out here nearly as much as I used to. And usually I don't come to this side either, unless I want to go across the backbone.
Okay. Now who maintains, like, who would have done this? There's this fence here on either.
I don't know if the county actually did this or how involved. You know, Dick Jensen basically made the Jensen Trail with the where the railroad bed was.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's kind of overcast now, it looks different when it's overcast, and makes kind of a mood I kind of like.
Yeah.
It was sunny when I was out here last week.
I don't think are we past the colorful leaves period?
I don't think we're into the colorful.
Oh, it hasn't. Oh.
No, I don't think so. I was in Decorah last Friday, and as I drove to Decorah, I drove up through Ocean, and I thought, oh gosh, there's more color in town than there is out here.
That Independence ride that I did a couple days ago, I thought was pretty drab looking.
Yeah.
I didn't see much color, you know.
I commented on that when I got to Decorah, because I expected to see more color. Here we'll be following some sort of a vehicle of some kind. Made a little path for us to follow here. You can see the two tires.
So that will, now are we going to go down there?
Just a little, we won't go clear down,
okay,
down to the...
But that'll lead down to that pasture where they used to have the cows?
And we'll be able to kind of see that pasture from where if we
okay.
Don't go down there. And it's all grown up like this now.
I'm guessing this time of the year we're not apt to pick up ticks.
I don't think so. Actually, Of all the times I've ever been to Echo Valley, I've never had a tick on me.
Really?
And I used to go out to the Volga Lake area, and I'd be picking ticks off me for an hour after I got home.
Oh.
And probably mistakenly thought that the reason I didn't get ticks here, because most of the places I went at Echo Valley had never, they'd always been non-cultivated with no domestic animals.
Okay.
And the Volga Lake was a lot of land that had been farmed and had pastures, and I thought maybe that's what made it so tick-ridden.
That could
Yeah,
be.
this is about as far as I went the other day.
Okay.
And it was sunny then, and the first time I came up from below a year ago or last spring, and I came up from below, and when I got here and I turned around in this vast view, I said, oh yeah, there's all those places I used to go.
Huh.
There used to be cattle up above there too. Yeah, I used to probably get out of the boundaries of the park quite often.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell where the,
Yeah, I
where,
mean,
you know.
I don't know. This is allowed for hunting, so obviously they had people come here, but I think this is out of the park. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's part of it. Yeah, unless you have to wriggle your way through a barbed wire fence, then you know you're leaving the park. Which I did a few times over on the other side. And it's always good because you get a couple of hard frosts, and it's a little bit easier to get through the undergrowth, those places that you can't get to when it's so thick. Yeah, it says end of state land.
Okay.
So evidently this is state.
And look at Mark right in here. Does that look like a
Oh yeah.
kind of a path somehow?
I'm thinking about it. I'm positive that before this was made, years and years ago, I used to stray into this area sometimes too.
Do you think that now is probably more like a deer path, or?
I think so. I think that's probably originally what it always was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see them. One of the places I went last, well, I guess it was Monday when I was out here. I thought it would be a good place to go, and it was so hard to get through. But the only places you could get through were where animals had made little pathways.
When I was in the band, I'd see all these people, of course, at the dances, and I'd kind of think, well, that's an older lady there, and that's an older gentleman. And it always turned out these people would be like 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I have this in my head that I'm still 20, 25 years old.
Yeah, there are lots of people I feel like I'm contemporary to, and then I realize, no, they could be my grandchildren.
Now, what are these, Mark? These vines?
I don't really know, but boy, that's about as thick a one as I've ever seen.
Coming right out of the ground.
Yeah.
And how does it get way up
It
there?
goes clear up to that branch. Is it actually part of that branch, or does it just...
There's some horticulturists out there laughing right now saying, oh, you guys,
Yeah, it looks like it goes up and then crosses a little branch off of that branch that's holding it up there. And, yeah.
So does it start down here? It must start down here, huh?
Yeah, it's going
somehow,
right up out of the ground here.
And somehow works its way up.
Yeah.
How it does that, I have no idea. Somebody post in the comments below. Oh, that's interesting. Huh.
Yeah. Shall we walk a little way onto the backbone?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of parks to the east of Independence that I had never heard of, and I took a look at them on Google Earth. They actually look like they might be quite interesting. Now, are we actually going onto the backbone now?
Yeah.
Okay. I must admit it's probably been several decades since I've been on the backbone here.
Oh, really?
Now, will we come up on a spot where we can kind of look out over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait until we get there then.
That's what I noticed too in recent years. Where the lake was, how much taller the trees that are growing up from the old lake bed are than when I was young.
Oh. Well, there was a spot where we used to climb down. What did we call that?
I'll show you where it is.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
But wasn't there a big kind of boulder wedged?
Yeah,
In there?
standing on end down
Yeah.
here. Here's where the dam.
You'd have to go, was it?
Well, we'll see that if we go back this way and then go to another place I want to go.
Okay.
We'll see that.
I was just thinking this probably is a good time of the year to come out here because
Oh, yeah.
at least we can see through here.
Yeah.
Oh, that goes down quite a ways, doesn't it?
Yeah. I used to go down and sit on that little rock there.
I'm going to just peek over the edge here. That's got to be, what, 100-foot drop?
I don't know. And I always enjoyed, you can look down through here. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
You see, this is Glover's Creek over here.
This probably doesn't translate well on video, but it is a heck of a drop off there. And once you get going, you're not going to stop until you hit the bottom.
Well, you might have a few bumps on
Yeah,
the way down,
yeah.
but nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, later we'll be looking at this where we are now from down there.
Okay.
Here's where we climb down.
Yes, that's it. Oh, yeah. And we used to climb down there, didn't we, Mark?
Yeah. And then I think from down there, I think there was a little ledge like thing you could go along the cliff face, and there was a little hollowed out. When we're down there and look across, we'll see several things that look like that. So you could sit in there and
In there. But there's that rock down there wedged.
yeah, that would be rather in our way now if we tried to.
Yeah. But yeah, we used to, that was just part of the drill. You'd get out here and you'd crawl down here. I almost feel like I want to do it now, but I'm glad I've got enough common sense to prevent me from doing that. But
We've gotten well into the age of knowing better.
yeah, right. And it's surprising we made it through our teenage and 20s without killing ourselves out here.
And I used to like to sit here,
Okay.
lean back against this little rock and look out across here and read. I remember reading A.B. Guthrie's The Big Sky. I was reading that. when I
Right
was
here?
sitting here, yeah.
Well, there was a time, and I mentioned this earlier, but we didn't have the video going. But there was a time, and I'm not sure if it was in the 70s but I came out here and accessed the backbone the way we did today. And I got about 50 feet onto the trail, and there's this guy sitting there under a tree reading a book. And it turned out to be this guy right here, Mark Haines. And we got embroiled in probably an hour's long discussion of philosophy and religion. I thought that guy's not as dumb as he looks. He's very well read in the.
Well, and that had to be some years. That's probably after the 70s. It was later in the fall because I could look across here, and of course there was less trees growing up, but I could look across toward the shelter house.
Oh
and
yeah.
on that path that goes from the shelter house down to the trail, I saw a couple on the path embracing and osculating.
Can I put that word in this video? Osculating?
I think so.
We'll have an overlay with the definition. We want to keep this G-rated.
Yeah.
Huh.
1930s they built this.
Hey, now is this path down here, that path that I got on that one day?
Yeah, that's the path you came down, and then you branched off. We'll down here, we'll branch off and go this way. When we go over
Okay, we'll be on that today then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the shelter house,
You can't.
it's kind of obscured.
You can see the part of the parking area where the shelter house is there.
Kind of a couple pieces of white or something over there.
Yeah, that's part of that.
It's pretty
I think the
obscured.
gravel drive
Yeah.
there.
And this area down here all was lake at one time, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I always like all these little areas where you can.
Yeah.
And then there's another area up here where you can go down to where the dam that we talked about earlier.
Isn't it amazing that, you know, these drop-offs, and this is something I never thought of as a kid, but in all the years it's been here, that we haven't had people going off the edge and breaking their legs and necks. And
I don't know how many years ago now, I was up here on the backbone and I met a couple coming through. And he seemed to be more familiar with it. He was showing it to her. And when we came to that crevice there, I said, "Oh, this is where we used to climb down at kids." And she looked at me like, "You were insane." Yeah, I think actually there's all these little animal paths that are kind of off this.
yeah.
But I always like spending time along Glover's Creek almost more than along Otter Creek.
Now, this is Glover's end
Yeah,
here?
this is Glover's on this side. Glover's is the creek in West Union that runs through Rotary Park and behind the elementary school.
Okay.
And
Under the little bridge there on the Ocean Blacktop?
yeah,
That's Glover's.
yeah,
Glover's?
yeah, under Rotary Park and under the bridge, and then out to the eastern part of town.
Okay.
That near the neighborhood where Johnny lives, that creek used to live in, I think.
So that's all Glover's in there.
Yeah,
Mark, now right in here,
we used to go down here.
yeah.
Right here, there's a path to go down here.
Now down here somewhere, and from this perspective, I can't tell you for sure. I think I see where it might be.
There's a little cavern underneath. Do
Do you see that little? Of course, you can see this limestone outcropping here.
Yeah.
And at the very bottom, there's kind of a flat area down there.
Mm-hmm.
Along that limestone ledge there, Dean and I were, what do you call that, inching our way across. And of course, Dean made it. You know, he always made it. And I fell
Oh, goodness.
and landed in that little basin down there. But in the process, I did a number on my ankle. And I don't know if it was broken or sprained bad, but I actually rode my bike back into town. Ended up going to the emergency, and in those days they would put you in a cast for what, 6 weeks or?
Yeah, probably.
And so I remember I did that's the only time I really fell and hurt myself out here.
Mm.
And it was, you know, really wasn't that far, maybe 10 foot, I'm thinking. But I landed in that little that area.
I thought maybe you were going to tell me that Dean did the fireman's carry with you all the way back to town.
He should have.
He could have.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah. I guess we didn't think of it. Hi, ladies.
There's lots of acorns, so don't slip.
Yeah. Got to watch out for falling walnuts, too.
Oh, we were kicking them down the path down there.
Yeah, those walnuts make for treacherous bike riding.
Yeah. When I was on the Jensen Trail last week, it was kind of breezy in there. I'd hear the thumps of walnuts around. And I thought, isn't it amazing I've never been hit by one.
I'm going to run down there real quick to that broken thing and kind of peer over the edge.
Okay.
Just for the heck of it, and I'll be right back. We're going to look down here. This must have been a heck of a wind to break this thing off, huh?
There's a lot of trees down now that burnt down some years ago. There's been a lot of falling.
And this is another one of those steep
Yeah.
drop-offs. That's why they call it the backbone, I guess.
Yeah.
Now
Actually, we could follow this path around and circle back and
okay,
come back to the car and then go around and join the other path. By the
sounds good.
Yeah, see, these paths, fallen trees have sort of made these areas more difficult. I don't know, you're having a hard time ducking under that with your helmet on?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'll go over the top.
Yeah. I find as the ducking under things as I'm older, I don't duck as far. I always am bumping myself underneath things that I think I ought to be able to just duck under.
I'm always surprised at a lot of these recreational areas and trails, the lack of utilization.
Yeah. Although on any given day in nice weather, you do find quite a few people using the Jensen Trail.
You knew,
Not
okay.
too many people wander off where we are now, but I wouldn't expect that.
The last video I made of the Jensen Trail, I came across one couple walking their dog and two ladies walking their dog. So 3 dogs and 4 people during about a 45-minute stretch.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, that's a lot. Seeing a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that is.
Well, today is October the 17th, and Mark and I are back at Echo Valley. We have a beautiful day. We're going to do part 2 of this project, and right now we're on, what should we call this, the first bridge?
Yeah, I would say that's what it is.
There are 3 walk bridges along the Jensen Trail, and this would be the, what direction, you know, what direction that would be?
Well, there's the sun. It must be kind of southwest.
Okay, so this would be bridge number 1. So from the entrance, and anyway, I think we're going to have a little bit of color today.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Nice along. A lot of yellow, not much orange.
Yeah. We're going to, what are we going to explore today, Mark?
We're going to go down around the corner here and toward the shelter house, but there's a way to get down by the creek there.
Okay.
And we'll go down and we'll go past the lime kiln and then follow the creek downstream.
Oh, good.
Yeah, see right up here's the top of the, I guess you call it the chimney of the kiln here, this stone here.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
I've seen that, but I never knew what it was. Now, what have they built what is that fence all about?
Well, they just made that so you to protect people from going in there. I suppose they didn't want
Oh,
to put graffiti on it and
do not climb the fence. Never knew about this.
this hasn't been this accessible for a number of years now, but
Oh. This is a nice path.
yeah, they cut a nice wide path all the way along here.
I thought maybe there was an open spot there in the fence, but I see where that's kind of...
Oh, yeah, it's just, I wonder if something, maybe a tree fell on it or something.
Yeah. Do not climb the fence. These historical structures date back to before the time of the CCC. The foundation in front is from a grist mill that burnt to the ground in 1883. The structure in the back is a lime kiln mortar. Is that how you spell mortar?
Yeah.
Mortar made in this kiln was used to build houses in West Union and the CCC structures in this park. I've never been down here to see this. They really got it kind of protected, don't they?
Yeah, and you see the interior it was lined with that red brick looking.
Oh yeah. I can't believe we never ventured down in this.
Yeah, it was kind of
area.
hard to get to this area until they made this path.
Oh.
It was all like it is all around us.
Huh.
The frost has made it easier to walk here.
Oh, that's the path right there then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the bridge we were
Yeah.
just on. Looks higher from down here than it does when you're standing on it looking down.
Yeah, this is a completely different perspective.
I don't remember all. I suppose maybe I came from where we parked the other day and came along here sometimes. Or you could get into the woods anywhere along here from the road going down to Glover's. But I used to go along that side of the creek some too, and I guess we could walk along here a little and then turn up to the wider path.
I'll just follow you
Watch it.
because this is an area I'm not familiar with.
That's up to the walnut.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is that opening, is that man-made or?
I don't, it almost looks like it, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Such
How do they get those rocks in there to fit so perfectly?
Yeah.
But it is probably just limestone strata.
Mm-hmm. The water couldn't be any clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be other places we'll see little places that we can
Okay.
turn
Yeah.
off. We could go straight up through here. The
Just
path
go
is
through here?
Right there.
Oh, there we go.
Access to the creek from here. Most of the walnuts must be down by now. I saw a blue jay in my front yard yesterday, and he was picking something up, and they looked like almost the size of acorns.
Okay.
And they didn't look like the little crap from my crabapple tree. They didn't look like that. They looked brown. They looked like walnuts, but they were in his beak. I mean, his beak was open wide, and that nut in there, and he just swallowed it whole.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I've never seen that before. He did that a couple of times. Yeah, we can go down here, and this is getting really steep up on the hillside.
Yeah, it's getting more...
A little more orange color here in the maple here. Yeah, there's a lot more trees come down since I used to come out here a lot. If you were on that side of the creek, it'd make it a lot harder moving along there.
I'm just completely turned around. I don't know, what direction I'm pointing or where I am in the park.
So if I ran off, you'd be days wandering around.
Yeah, I'd be lost. Yeah. It's easy to get turned around in here.
Yeah. Well, just the fact that walking the Jensen Trail, how the sun seems to switch positions on you, and it's the trail that's winding.
Yeah,
But the trail doesn't seem like it winds.
Yeah. To me, the trail seems like it's going due east.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned, you look at the Google Earth photos, and it's all over the place.
Yeah, I think there's a place here we can turn in with rougher.
Oh.
Ah, little beaver working on it.
Yeah. Probably how many decades ago, huh?
There's a deer print. That's one thing I've never seen is out here is a beaver.
They got to be out here someplace.
Here's a little track that's not a deer track, I don't think. Well, maybe it is. It looked like it had little nails on it, little claws, but...
When I didn't tell you this, when I got home from our little trek a couple days ago, as I walked onto the breezeway from the garage, there was a skunk right on the breezeway looking at me, kind of walked in a circle, and then he kind of disappeared. Yeah, I didn't even get sprayed.
Yeah. I think you really have to provoke them.
I think so. Oh, wow.
I used to kind of go in that little crevice and crouch in there and look down.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, how old were you when you first came out here?
I think we did most of our exploring, and probably, I'm thinking maybe age 14, 15, 16, kind of mid-teens.
Yeah, I think I started really coming out a lot after I was out of school during the summers and fall. Fall is the best time to come out here, I think. Especially here where there were no trees because it was the lake bed. But I don't really know how far this direction the lake, I don't know how big the lake was. I suppose that could be found out on the internet.
Yeah, well, you don't hear a lot about the lake though, do you?
No. No, here's a kind of an easy descent here, kind of at the edge of the creek. Well, maybe not really easy, but... Oh yeah, I remember I was out here. Last time I was out here, I remember making use of this route here. There's a step. Yeah, it's nice to have the sunlight
Yeah.
on the water today. It's like Stevenson down here. We kind
Yeah.
of know how. I think it must be pretty close up above this place.
But it would be unnerving if we looked up and saw ourselves looking down. There's something playing around in the water over there. I noticed that when we came down, and it's still how can I explain where that is? But kind of,
Yeah, there is something there that, I don't know if it's forming rocks on the bottom. There is something that makes little odd ripples. But, oh, there, right there. Yeah.
yeah,
That's probably a fish. Probably a trout.
yeah, something's busy. I noticed some little water bugs earlier, so maybe they're kind of,
Yeah. Yeah, I see the shadow of one. Like, I can't see the bug itself right by those leaves there, but I can see the shadow it makes on the bottom. Right by that orange leaf there.
yeah. Well, let's see what else we got going here.
Okay. I think I went up over here.
I was surprised I didn't have any sore muscles or anything
Yeah, that's good.
after our little hike. I thought for sure I'd have a few sore somethings. I've never, I love to ride the bike, but I've never been one for running or walking or,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, walking is my chosen method of
yeah, of exercise and,
Yeah. Just for the, I mean, I walked back before I thought of it being exercise. I just walked a lot.
like to walk.
Yeah.
My grandfather walked every day down to the office.
Oh, I remember seeing him, yeah.
He'd go down twice. He'd go down and then come back at noon, and then he'd take
Yeah.
about a half-hour nap, hour maybe. Then he'd walk back down.
Yeah, now we got to be awfully close to that crevice on the bluff here.
Now, why would this grass be so nice and not overgrown?
Well, they mow it once in a while, you know, during
They come
the
down
summer,
here
but I
and
don't
mow
know why. It seems to be, I don't know. They must have maybe, when they made this path, maybe they seeded it with grass. And,
Ah,
because I don't think if you just cut down all this stuff, you'd have a nice grassy path.
Yeah.
underneath it. I think you'd have to plant the grass.
it's just almost too perfect,
Yeah.
like a... Yeah, these are the pterodactyl plants that I mentioned.
Yeah,
Gosh, those are tall things, aren't they?
yeah.
That thing's got to be...
Tall as the cornstalk.
well, yeah, it's got to be... Gosh, it's got to be 11 foot tall, I'm
There's
thinking.
a place we could get a little closer to the creek here because I think we're in the area where that crevice is.
Oh,
Maybe we'll be able to see it. Well, no, we're not quite at the dam, I guess.
oh no.
That fooled me.
But this is where I ended up that
Yeah.
other day.
Okay.
And I think I did walk down
Yeah,
here.
I think we can get a look down past the bluff there that we just walked by and maybe get a look at it. Maybe determine. See, we've come actually to the end of this bluff area and the backbone is widening out again after this.
Okay.
That woods we walked through the other day is up in here in this area.
Oh, okay.
When we sort of left the main path of the backbone. Yeah, we can backtrack a little bit. It's a little slipperier there than it was the last time I came down here.
Getting 230 pounds going is a little different than getting near 150 pounds going. Little thing called inertia. Wow, that is a big rock there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. I should be able to orient myself by this rock that's out here in the center of the creek. Oh, well, we could step back up here and get a little farther. It doesn't look possible now. Maybe it's changed, but I think we come down that, well, not the crevice, but there where you go down to go to the dam. And you could follow a path along the base of the cliff here, and it would take you could walk into that little hollowed out area. Before, when I'd been out here recently, I'd see so many hollowed out areas I couldn't distinguish the one that was that, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the one. Yeah, from this side of the creek it wouldn't be too hard to get to that rock without getting your feet wet, but I don't know where you would leap to.
We're picking up a lot. I'm picking up a lot of.
Yeah, wearing a sweatshirt, you've got a material that they want to cling to more than
Yeah.
your finish.
I'll drag all these pterodactyl seeds back to West Union.
My center of balance was going downhill while I was trying to go uphill. Here's a deer track too. You come here for a drink.
That's funny. I didn't notice this the other day.
I did, but when I was down here, but I have no idea what it's here for.
Yeah.
If they were just marking, maybe they used, seems like sort of an elaborate thing to do if you're just marking the border of this trail when they're making the trail.
Well, yeah. Have a
What's all that?
13-foot high pole.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't see that the other day. This hardware looks pretty new right here.
Yeah, the bolt,
Yeah.
like they got the fence post, the steel post from, had been used somewhere else.
Salvage that from something.
Yeah, see, there's still some.
If I had better balance, I'd be tempted to try to. There's a bunch of rocks over here that I think could be.
Yeah, well, you could almost walk across on that timber there.
Yeah, your balance would be better than mine. Then I'd
Yeah. Well, I'd want,
a couple sticks or
yeah,
something.
one anyway. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, it really shouldn't be any harder at that width than it is if it was a yard wide, but it is harder.
And if it were on dry ground,
Yeah,
You
could
know,
walk across it. And not
yeah,
get
yeah. Some other time I'll wear my old shoes and not worry if I slip off into the. I think down there, if you look down there, it almost looks like to be enough.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I bet some of these was, it would get about midstream. It gets easier. It was pretty solid after that.
Well, I'm gonna.
It's hard to judge distances that are leapable.
Well, that is the old dam over there.
I don't think today's degenerate youth get do that stuff.
Yeah, it's probably not they'd rather...
Although not that many years ago, I'd see little groups of young boys out here together.
Yeah.
Running around.
Well, we haven't seen any deer, or we haven't...
Oh.
I don't think we, other than Mark when his fishing pole, or they haven't seen any humans out here
Yeah, we might get up
on the trail.
I would think there'd be fishermen out on that.
Yeah.
There are more fishermen out on this nice later fall day. That's really easier going up that than it was coming down.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some purchases there that make it a little easier. Some big old fungus there. I see pictures of people with these huge puffballs.
Yeah,
Have you ever eaten?
there's another story from the Echo Valleys, or from the Glover's Creek side.
Okay.
I rode bicycle out here, and before I got to the parking area there, I put the bicycle into the woods and left it and did some walking, probably along where we were over there, probably
Yeah.
into that woods. And when I got back, all around that area were puffballs, and I hadn't seen them when I got there. They appeared in in a 2-hour time or 2 or 3 hour.
Whoa.
It seemed to me anyway they must have, unless I just ignored them when I got there. And I picked 1 or 2 of them. I had a flannel shirt on just as a jacket,
Yeah.
so I took that off and put them inside and wound them up in the shirt and got on the bicycle and rode to town. And then Dad showed them to Dad, and he said, well, and I said, there are more. And he said, well, let's get in the car and go out and get them. So we brought them home, and we sliced them up and fried them. We gave some to some neighbors, and we had one we didn't get to, and we put it on the north side of the house in the shade because it was, cool weather.
Yeah.
And we thought overnight it'd be all right, and it was rotten by the next day. It didn't
Really?
survive the night after it was picked.
So, do they taste like morels, or what are they?
They're very bland. You got to season them.
So almost like
Fry 'em in
tofu,
butter,
huh?
and, yeah, you fry them in butter, and
Oh.
yeah, they're very white.
You didn't happen to try to put your plate?
No, I haven't even taken it out of that box.
I think that's a hopeless.
Yeah,
I don't think you're going to
I
get...
think I'm going to just put that box away somewhere. Something won't let me just toss it. But
Somebody 50 years from now will come across that. Oh, Mark must have had a real heartbreaker here. He wrote a thing and on a plate.
or somebody wrote to me like that.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like a female thing to do to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's still a few.
Oh, I hear some human voices.
Oh, here's a little. Wow. I thought that was like a thing you put on the end of a chair leg, but
What is it?
characters that
Is it edible?
feels like it's made out of like plaster or something or so.
Oh, hey, Mark, look.
Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's a nice one. I think people just like to come out here and leave things to mystify them.
What are these?
That's a sort of a floral. Looks like a sunflower.
Well, that's interesting.
Here we are, 2 old duffers trying to figure out what's going on in the generation
Really?
that-
Yeah, it is the age to try to make sense of everything. Why are we here? What are these little porcelain figurines? Who wrote the mysterious cryptic message on the plates? Where is north?
Yes. Oh, now see, this one has a little birdhouse on it.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. They put birdhouses on them. What a prosaic explanation. I was hoping it was something a little more arcane. It's kind of interesting down in the valley there, kind of a bluish haze, kind of a fog,
Yeah.
foggy thing.
That's just newly made, that one.
So what time do you think?
You picked me up, it must have been just before 3. By the time we got out, we probably was maybe a quarter after, 20
Quarter after.
before we started. Pretty much the same time we started last time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, now. See, there's a path that goes up there.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Remember? And I
Yeah.
kept saying I thought
Yeah,
there.
yeah, there is. Yeah, that one is.
I'm just going to quick.
That one is less used, I believe.
I'm
than
just
the
going to
other one.
quick kind of go up there a little bit.
Yeah, this is the first time I've noticed how pronounced it is. It's a lot easier to see today.
That's what I was trying to find. I'm just going to go up a little ways here. Looks like a bunch of little acorns. Well, I'm gonna cut over from up here then.
Other side and walk through the woods and circle down and hit this path down here somewhere.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't crazy.
And backbone. Yeah, this uprooted tree here.
Right here.
Yeah, down near this big tree uprooted.
This is the trail you were referring to. Yeah,
There used to
okay.
be a sign just down here, not too far, just about where it starts to come uphill.
Say backbone?
Yeah, just a little sign,
Yeah.
about 4 foot high or so, that little brown sign that said backbone. Well, if it fell down, they must have taken it away because I don't see it.
Huh.
What we got on the trail up here.
Yeah, snow. What is this?
This looks like the material that those little things we found on the stairs were made out of.
But this is soft. This is like a,
Oh, it's like spongy.
yeah.
Oh, this is a puffball.
Oh, isn't it?
That's what this is, yeah.
Let's eat it.
Looks like a good sized one.
I would have never thought of that. I think you're right. It's coincidental.
Years since I found those puffballs, but they certainly look like the same substance.
I'll be.
Yeah, I used to look up when we came off the backbone, that wooded area we walked through the hillside. There used to be a lot of May-apples growing there, and that was one of the things I had heard. They say where May-apples grow, you might find morels. I never found any there either. Yeah, here's our little path.
Okay. Now we can look for puffballs.
Insects in a little column of.
I don't know my trees. I really don't.
I knew more in the past than I did. That and wildflowers, I used to know more than I know now.
Again, there are people watching this laughing right now. You guys don't.
These look like the leaves of a cottonwood to me. I think this is a cottonwood maybe.
This huge tree. That's mammoth, isn't
Yeah,
it?
a good look at a leaf on the tree, they're all partial.
I'd like to see a bear or something like that.
It reads all right on its own. I don't think I wrote it with the idea of having a song. For
Oh,
it. I
it's-
think I just, but I thought it would make a good ballad. But oh, puffballs.
There we go.
Yeah, and that's what we were seeing. We were seeing a smashed football on the pit trail there.
I think if I were more adventurous, I'd pick one of those, and I suppose Johnny'd be the type that would
Ready?
figure that out. I don't know if it tastes like styrofoam. I think styrofoam fried in butter.
You, I don't know if you can do them in the microwave, so that eliminates me.
Yeah, there are people out there saying, "Oh
I guess
my!"
you could slice them and put them in the toaster, maybe.
There are people saying, "Oh my God, you guys picked those!" Oh, right through there, there's another huge one.
Oh, yep, yep.
If you stand right here and look straight through the,
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, do you see
I
her?
can see a little bit of white, yeah. Well, I could, but now I've lost it. Oh, there, yeah. I see it
Yeah.
now.
So there's something about this area here that
Yeah,
amenable to these.
yeah, and the ones I found were up high on the,
Oh, really?
next to the road up there.
Well, now my life is complete. Yeah, Doug, oh yeah, he ended up in the hospital. They thought they found puffballs, and it turned out to be Mycelium frempus, the most toxic fungus in North America, and they fried up a bunch of it. Oh,
I was interested in it.
well, you never know what you're going to see out here. Last time we saw the deer, this time
Yeah.
we saw puffballs. Okay, now this is the dog that likes to herd the chickens, right?
That's right. This is Lucy.
Lucy, all right.
Oh, she'll
Yeah.
bark, but she'll
Oh, I
she'll
know,
sound
I
vicious,
know.
but she's really not.
She's a protective gal. Oh, I know.
The front end barks and the back end the tail
That tail
wags.
wag. Within a few minutes, she'd be your best friend. Yes.
And the hair's
Yeah.
not standing up on her neck. That's a good sign.
That's right.
And Lucy was a
Australian Shepherd.
Australian. They like to herd, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they
yeah.
love to. Yeah. She's. In fact, I never worry. Like as soon as I get past you, I can let her off leash. She'll have to watch me, so she'll stay right with
Yeah,
me.
she's
wow.
protective. That's understandable. Yeah,
Okay.
we're doing a little bit of a video out here today,
Oh,
taking some of the lesser known trails,
okay.
and we're just about ready to head back.
Yeah. I've traveled most of these because this summer my sister and I went on a 9-mile hike, and because she and I hiked everywhere here. I think we found every trail in here getting ready
Oh,
for this.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then a few days, well, I just got back a few days ago from Italy too, and my son and I hiked all over Italy, so it was
Oh, my God.
Oh, this is child's play out here then, huh?
it's nice to be back.
Good talking to you, sir. 69-mile hike, is that what she said? Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm quite in that league.
There are no echoes at Echo Valley Park. From the low ground to the backbone I've hollered and hark. I never heard an echo, so it's safe to remark. There are no echoes at Echo Valley Park. There may have been echoes when there was a lake. If you yelled across the water to the backbone you could wake a very fine echo, but now for heaven's sake, there are no echoes, for there is no lake.
Alrighty, well, we've completed leg 2 of the Echo Valley adventure, and I'm trying to figure out what time it is. Do you have any idea, Mark?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Our timing's pretty good. So I had an enjoyable trek. This will be part 1, and part 2 will be one video, and then Mark and I are going to come out sometime. I don't know if it'll be this year yet or in the spring, but we're going to do part 3 because there are even more neat trails to explore. So till next time, this is Doug and Mark signing off.
There are no lost gloves along Glover's Creek. I've walked upstream and downstream for lost gloves to seek. I never found a glove, so I'm free to speak. There are no lost gloves along Glover's Creek. There may have been a lost glove at some time, I suppose. Someone may have salvaged it, it could have decomposed. My theory's anecdotal, so doubtful heaven knows. There may have been a lost glove at some time, I suppose. But I wish there were echoes at Echo Valley Park.